Hello, everybody, and welcome to Notorious Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm Notorious Cly, and today I wanted to talk about Red Lotus King Flame Crime. What a name! I sure hope this gets localized into something smoother sounding. Not gonna lie, I do like calling it crime for short, though. Hopefully, leave that part untouched. Crime is a very interesting piece of support for Resonator Red Dragon Archfiend, and potentially another Fiend based strategy. Crime is a level 3 Fire Fiend, and like all modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it has multiple effects. 3 of them, in fact. And I'm proud to report that all 3 effects are, at a minimum, useful. Its first effect, as a quick effect during the main phase, allows you to special summon it from your hand if you control a Fiend type tuner, or if your opponent controls a monster. Its second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each fire monster you control with different names. And its third effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can send one normal trap from your deck to your graveyard. Crime, being a Fiend type non-tuner that can special summon itself, is fantastic. That's usually all we want as Red Dragon Archfiend players. The fact that Crime also does 2 other things in addition to special summoning itself is amazing. It's also worth noting here that Crime, being a level 3, actually pairs up very nicely with Soul Resonator. Since Soul Resonator is a level 3 type tuner, Soul Searching Crime can get us an alternative route to Red Rising Dragon, since 3 plus 3 equals 6. Crime's second effect to burn your opponent isn't the craziest thing in the world, but it's nice that Red Dragon Archfiend has another accessible archetypical time card. Shoutouts to the boy Red Resonator. Crime's third effect is perhaps its most interesting. The ability to send any normal trap to the graveyard when it's used as synchro material opens the door for Red Dragon Archfiend to potentially break free from its over-reliance on Crimson Resonator's effect to summon other Resonators, resolving. Just to be clear, I still believe that resolving Crimson Resonator's effect to summon other Resonators is the single most impactful thing you can do on your turn. However, I am optimistic that the design of cards like Soul Resonator, Vision Resonator, and now Red Lotus King Flame Crime may eventually give Red Dragon Archfiend decks other more impactful and potentially game-winning things to do. Now, that begs the question, what normal traps are even worth sending to the graveyard off of Crime's effect? The first one that comes to mind is Red Rain. Red Rain reads, if you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, banish all monsters on the field, except the monster with the highest level. Also, the remaining face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by card effects except their own until the end of this turn. Also, if a Dark Dragon Synchro type monster is synchro summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect of Red Rain once per turn. Since Red Rain can find its way back to your hand, it's a prime target to send off Crime. Oh yeah, its on-field effect is also game-winningly strong. The ability to weave a card this strong into a Resonator combo is what gives me hope that one day Resonator Red Dragon Archfiend players may have a worthwhile play if my boy Crimson gets stopped. The only other archetypical normal trap that has a relevant graveyard effect is Time to Stand Up, or the Great Soul. If you know, you know. Time to Stand Up reads, if a Dragon Synchro monster is on the field, special summon up to 2 monsters that are Resonator monsters and or level 1 Dragon monsters from your deck. But that's not the effect we're worried about. This one is. When a monster effect is activated while you control a level 10 or higher Dark Dragon Synchro monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate that effect, and if you do, one synchro monster you control gains 2,000 attack until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Time to Stand Up once per turn. Time to Stand Up's graveyard effect is decent and could be a useful part of an end board, but when you compare it to Red Rain, Time to Stand Up quickly loses its appeal. Its effect is significantly less powerful, and its activation requirement is slightly more demanding than Red Rain's. For us tried and true Red Dragon Archfiend players, these 2 traps are the only one that have any sort of synergy with our existing game plan. However, if you're willing to step outside the lines of playing Red Dragon Archfiend as a dedicated strategy, there are a few normal trap cards that I find very interesting. They are Welcome Labyrinth, Big Welcome Labyrinth, and Transaction Rollback. Soul and Crime being splashed into Labyrinth decks as a low investment way to synchro climb into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss and work key normal trap cards into rotation is an idea that I think is worth exploring. The Labyrinth and Resonator archetypes have been on the verge of forming a cohesive strategy for a while now, and maybe Crime is the piece that brings them both together. That's all I really have to say about Red Lotus King Flame Crime at the moment. Let me know what your thoughts are on Crime down in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe because at least the next 2 combo competitive videos will be featuring Crime. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Be safe, have fun.